I love being an executive producer and a TV host, but my absolute favorite job in the world is being a mother of a 12-year-old spunky and fun daughter. She's almost taller than me, which is pretty crazy considering that she was born at just over 6 months, and I was one of the many parents who spent countless nights at the bedside of their child wondering what their fate would be. It's not a circumstance I wish on anyone, but it's a circumstance that made me a huge advocate and supporter for the BC Children's Hospital Foundation. Their campaign taking place right now to expand BC Children's Hospital is a crucial one. Stories like mine and my daughter's, as well as Thomas's story, who you're about to see, are the exact reason why an initiative like this needs to be supported by everyone.
He was 6 years old. Healthy kid playing sports. It probably happened from a ball to the head or a fall on the ice, we don't know. But he injured his neck and that's what caused the blood clot to form and that's what caused the stroke. We're a family of 5 and the 3 kids are pretty close in age. And so it wasn't just, Colin and I that were devastated by this. It was, the whole family. Even though the other 2 were young, they knew this was really serious.
We were just getting dropped off at before school childcare, and then all of a sudden Thomas started crying and me and Miles were saying, "What's wrong?" We're like, "Come play with us," and he says, "No, I can't stand up. I'm sick, I don't know what's wrong." When I went into class, I told my friends my brother can't swallow properly or breathe. And luckily, one of my friend's moms overheard, phoned my mom, and then my mom found out and came and realized that he was very sick.
He was on the floor and he could cry, but he couldn't talk and he couldn't move and he very little on his left side. We did eventually get him to Children's Hospital, and that's when they very quickly were able to tell what had happened. And that's when they came out and they said, he dissected an artery in his neck, and the end result was it had what's called a massive brainstem thrombosis, which is a huge stroke. And so we were beyond terrified, because really that was, most people don't survive that, and if you do, you're typically not able to move anything but blink. Unless they did something miraculous, it was going to be a very bad ending.
You see a family that is obviously having their world fall apart, and the youngest of their family is having a devastating problem, and everyone is trying their best to try to deal with it, but sometimes it requires people to kind of take a step back and say, what can you do, as opposed to what gets done.
Dr. Horan came to us and said that he'd never tried this on a child, but that he felt that there was a chance that it would work to inject the clot buster drug into the clot and break it up, and that he would do this by imaging it at the same time. And so it was a very risky procedure, but it really was sort of the only option that they could do at that point.
Traditional way of thinking would be that there's nothing much to offer in that situation, and you think of what the expected outcome would have been for Thomas, and he would have passed away, and I think that's a guarantee given the kind of problem he was having. Just because it hasn't been done before, it doesn't mean that it's not the right thing to do.
If a facility like Children's didn't have the equipment that they have and the expertise that they have, nobody would have figured it out, or they wouldn't have figured it out in time. And there's a really narrow window of time when you can treat a large clot like that. The clock was ticking, and they needed to do something because he was losing everything. The fact that they were able to diagnose him and then treat him that effectively and that quickly was life-saving for us. One of the most important initiatives in our mind that's going on right now with the whole new Children's Hospital is the development of more interventional radiology, so that it won't be, every second day or every fortunate child that happens to get this. It will be available to anybody that could benefit from it.
A new hospital will give us a chance to kind of start again and be able to get current again with our space, get current again with our physical equipment, and the kind of things that you need in order to bring us into state of the art now.
We know how valuable children's can be to saving lives and making the life better for families. And so we want to make sure that we send out a heartfelt appreciation and thanks to all the donors. Your generosity is well received and fantastic.
My goal is to go to the Olympics in swimming. I know how lucky I was, and I hope other kids are also that lucky.
Everybody that's in this room is here because they obviously love kids. They see a great need in order to have a community support and sponsor something that is, in this case, an interventional radiology suite. It's not a one-time thing. I always think of it like you want to build a legacy and you want to be involved in something that you really feel committed towards and feel a part of.